Um, I also wanted to dive into EMF exposure or electromagnetic field exposure.
Yeah.
This just kind of a consequence of living in a modern era. You know, we have 5G. We're always striving to have the fastest cell service, and we have our gadgets on us everywhere. I mean,
Yeah.
more every day. People are upgrading for, it started with a computer, then it became a cell phone, then it became, tablets
Mhm.
and smartphones became even more widely used, and now we even have watches and rings. All wonderful, but they all are producers of this EMF, and we constantly keep them on us. So
Yeah.
that exposure definitely increases our um, it's harmful to our bodies. It can do things like disturb our sleep, increase our oxidative stress.
Hmm.
It can impact our neurological system, and
Yeah.
it significantly increase our risk of cancer over time as well. Like you were saying, your friend, she lived a very clean life, did a lot to avoid hazards, and still ended up getting cancer, unfortunately. I'm
Yeah.
very sorry to hear that. So, you know, we live in a modern era where 5G, Wi-Fi, all of that is really unavoidable. But
Yeah.
there are things that we can do to kind of lower our exposure or
Yeah.
kind of take breaks from it even. You know, you could turn off your Wi-Fi tower at night,
Hmm.
um, just so your home is clear of that. That can
Right.
actually, that's been shown to help improve sleep quality as well.
Mm.
um, Limiting your screen time, just putting your phone, your computers down. I know it's really hard. I think more and more we're seeing, I mean, people's fingers have actually been shown that the bones are growing to
Oh,
fit our
wow.
cell phones. No joke. Like you can see people's fingers where they're holding their cell phones. So
Yeah.
like we have our bodies are actually evolving for our phones at this point. But the
Hmm.
more and more we can put our phones down and put space between us and that exposure on a regular basis, the better.
Yeah.
Even going for a 15-20 minute walk a day can do wonders in that department. Um, Using EMF blockers, there's cell phone cases, computer shields, there's clothing that you can wear, all that can help kind of act against all of that exposure that we're regularly facing. Yeah, turning off and unplugging your devices at night, um, using grounding practices too. So walking barefoot on the earth can really be therapeutic and kind of help your body to kind of get its regulation back, I guess.
Yeah.
When you're constantly bombarded, our nervous system eventually starts going into kind of a fight or flight.
Yeah.
The sympathetic nervous system goes into effect. So grounding can help kind of get us back to a parasympathetic state and
Yeah.
really calm us down again, neurologically.
Right.
Anything you want to add there?
No, I think you touched base on a lot of great things, like even when you mentioned about, certain like when it came to Wi-Fi and all that other stuff, there are plants like I was mentioning in New Jersey that, produce all this type of energy for the Wi-Fi and everything. And one of the towns has the highest rate of breast cancer, that has these plants, that they use to generate all the Wi-Fi and all the other stuff and they have the highest rate of breast cancer in the state and so you really have to think about everything around us plays a toll. We're all consistently surrounded by toxins and it's just so that gives you it should give people more of incentive to try to be even more healthier so we can combat, all these toxins, because if we make little changes inside our home and outside our home, and if we cut back on the phone and we maybe don't hold it in our hand 24 hours a day, and, take a little break, we can actually, help ourselves. And if we consider maybe looking into detox and cleansing and exercise and going to saunas and, and staying healthy and eating the right foods, maybe our body will be able to handle these toxins better and be able to flush them out of our body. Because if our body is in good standing, our body and we cleanse our body and we do the right things, our body will flush a lot of these things out and you'll
Right.
notice the difference. But you have to take the initiative and you have to be consistent. So it's not just, taking a cleanse pill and thinking that's it. It's doing eating the right foods, exercise, and maybe going to a sauna if you're able to, and really, looking around the house and really thinking about what's really good and what's not. And when you talk about cleaning supplies, if you think back in the European stage, they always used white vinegar and water, and that was how they cleaned the house, the floors, and they'd have rags, and and they would go around the house, and a lot of people still do that, and it cleans the house great, and there is, I believe, if it's water, and I don't know if it's basil. And something else, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it actually they did a study and it helped kill parts of the COVID virus, and it had killed lots of bacterias. And so sometimes looking into different herbs and different ways of combining things, there's a lot of herbs out there that actually could be used not just for food but for killing viruses, for killing bacteria, for cleansing, and really, if you put, I think there, there's like soap, water, and basil, I believe, and you clean your ring, and it's a gold ring, you'll see it shine, because it's a great cleaning agent. So that's something for people to look at too.
Absolutely. Yes. There's a lot of herbs that have antibacterial, micro, or antifungal,
Hmm.
uh, they're extremely effective at killing viruses and bacteria. So you're completely right. Rosemary is another really
Yes.
effective
Hmm.
one. Garlic is actually really
Yeah.
effective. So looking at these herbs that have been considered, medicine for thousands of years
Yes.
really can do wonders as far as that's such a good point.